Hi YouTube. I'm coming to you today and I'm doing a quick book review of some books that I read so far in 2020. As you know, next month is Black History Month, and I'm one of those people that believe you never stop learning. You never stop learning about your history. And it depends on how strong your beliefs are, or just whatever your beliefs are. In my opinion, um, we are not taught about our history in traditional schools, so it's up to us to learn as much about our history, about our people, and why we need to voice our opinion on certain things, and why we need to utilize our rights, especially our voting rights. One of those books actually is two books that I'm recommending today, and I'm going to do a brief discussion on today, and both of them are by Angela Davis and Assata Shakur. Um, I annotated a lot with this one, written by Angela Davis. Freedom is a constant struggle. Uh, Ferguson, Palestine, and the foundation of a movement. And those of you that may be aware, Ferguson is about the young man that was killed in Ferguson in St. Louis. I think it was like about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. So she spoke on that as well. Um, Mike Brown was his name, and the the Palestinian she's speaking on, uh, but the fight that they had going on, or they have going on, and what she's saying is that we have to come together, not just in America and the struggles we have here, but with other cultures, other races that are fighting for the same thing. When we come together as one, we can make a stronger stance. We can make a louder noise that will be heard. So, and she kind of speaks on about even about Assata Shakur, because both of them had cases that un, they were there's no way to use it. They were unjustly crucified by the judicial system. So this is a good read. It's not a very long read, but it's a good read. I also just suggest her biography. I have not gotten a chance to get deep into her biography. That's going to be my next read that I do. But I did do some annotations, and one thing that I liked that she said was that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, that she spoke on. Um, and it was not necessarily a quote that she said. It was a quote from the letter from the Birmingham jail of Dr. Martin Luther King, uh, when he was doing the civil rights movement. So it's a lot of things that she brings on. It's kind of and I highlighted that because it's a strong quote that he made. It was a strong statement that he made. We shouldn't just focus on what is going on within America with us. We have to look everywhere, and we have to actually pay attention when we're being informed about what's going on in these other countries, and why they feel America should be involved. There are certain aspects, yes, I believe America should be involved, but we need to know the, the complete detail of it, because I think a lot of times they don't necessarily tell us everything. So, without me getting into too much detail of the book, because you should read this, this is a good read. It was just something that I took from it, and that's basically what she's trying to say in the book. And she even spoke on, I'm trying to find it, because as you can see, I made a lot of notations in here. And there were some things, and Asada spoke on this as well, about the Black Panthers 10-point rule. And I've heard about this over the years, and I think it's something that deserves a little more thorough study, and to the Black Panthers, and fully what they stood for. Number one was we want freedom. Two, full employment. Three, an end to robbery by the capitalists of our black and oppressed communities. Number four, we want decent housing. And those are things, when you read them and you listen to them, you're like, isn't you that should you we receive that's something that we should receive automatically. But as you all know, it's not like that. So she speaks on how we have some progress we need to make. She did say some things that I didn't totally agree with. Um, she made some statements about President Obama. Now, before anyone get on their high horse and like, oh, you just said it because he's black, no. The point she made about him, when we take a stand with people, we have to understand the position that they're in before we make a judgment on or judgment call on why they make the decisions that they make. When President Obama was in office, there were a couple of decisions that I didn't necessarily agree with, but I had to remind myself, yes, he is our, and he was not our first black president, and no, I'm not talking about Bill Clinton. And that's your own research. You need to find out about that. But he was not just a president for black people. And yes, we know there have been presidents before him that only made concessions and only made decisions based on how it would benefit their race and the people in their tax bracket. But we had a president that was for everyone. So I could not get upset with him or make a judgment call about him because I'm not in his shoes. I was not in his position. So he wasn't just our president. He wasn't just black people president. He was the president for everyone. So she made some points that I think were kind of, I didn't necessarily agree with. But she also made a lot of points within the book that, I could stand with and it kind of opened my eyes on about things. The other book was the biography of Assata Shakur. And this is really good. I was up to 4 in the morning in order for me to finish this. I didn't annotate this book. I probably should have, but I kind of did a split. I read and I did audio. This book, I believe, should be part of Black History Studies, and not just for when she was going through her trials, but I think it stands today in the current climate of today, and how we have a lot of blacks and browns that have been vilified within the media unjustly, and how far the government and the justice system will go to convict someone without proper evidence, without sufficient evidence. They'll go after an innocent person. So I believe this is a good book. As a matter of fact, I'm considering turning this into a homeschool studies. We homeschool our children, and I'm considering turning this into a study, and also going into a little further studies about some of the points that she made within this book, because just like Angela Davis, she also spoke on struggles that during the time with the Puerto Ricans, with the over in China. We have to start focusing on what is going on with just us here in America, and we join other forces with other people and staying with them, that means we have more people that stand with us. And like I said, we make a louder, stronger noise, a noise that is heard. They will have no choice but to hear us. So those are the two books that I've read so far. Or I've read more than this, but these two books, I do recommend them. I have read, I think this was last year, year before last, I read Afeni Shakur, and she and Assata uh, were friends. Matter of fact, Afeni was like a legal assistant. She helped, with a case, and some of you are saying, uh, Afeni Shakur was not a lawyer. She wasn't, but she was part of the Panther 21, and so they were, in the same circle. So, and she also, Assata also kind of, pointed out some things about the Black Panthers that I wasn't aware of. So, it's all about doing your history and learning and being open to learn more about the struggles, and not just the struggles, about the strides that have been made, and about the how we need and the reason why we need to take certain stands we need to take. It's more than just about um, you know protesting, making a stance, sit-ins. It's more than just about that. We have to truly use our voice, and one of the strongest voices that we have is our right to vote. That's why it's always under attack, because they remove that right for us to vote. They weaken us. So we have to hold on to that. We have to hold on to it. Okay. So I just wanted to bring these two books to everyone's attention. And there's some other books that I'm going to read as we go into Black History Month, but not just Black History Month, throughout the year. You just can't just box us into one month, but it's good, that the focus, we can bring so much awareness, not just in February, but throughout the year. So I hope I brought some rays of information, so that you all strike out and go do your own research and learn more, and y'all pick up these two books and some other books that I'm gonna link is Roots, and that's a thick one. So I haven't read it, started reading it yet, but I've watched the series, the original one, just as well as I'm sure everyone others have. But I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of thick, but I will start reading it soon. Not sure how long it's going to take me, but if I can read the thick, Breaking Dawn, thick Twilight book, I can read that one to actually feed my knowledge of my people. So but this is from 2019. I also read Michelle Obama's Becoming, and I have the journal. And those of you that have heard people leave reviews about that book, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things. It's boring, is this, is that. I did both. I did the audio and I read the book. I enjoyed the book. I really enjoyed the audio because she was the one narrating it. But I enjoyed the book, period. It was a great read, and to me it gave me more insight. And she just, she her upbringing and her was just like, just like me, except she's Chicago and I'm, down south, but upbringing the same. She just like us. She's just a regular person. I think what got a lot of people, they thought, and I don't know why a person would think that maybe they thought it's gonna be scandalous and she's gonna, but come on, she was the first lady of the United States. So she is, it's a lot of things she just cannot say you know, she just cannot say. And all in all, it still was to me a great read. So if you have not picked that up, pick it up and read it. Be open minded. If you're looking for her to give top secrets, no, that's not what that is. So if that's what you're looking for, no, you're not gonna get that. But if you want a nice book or person, you know, that sound like she could be your friend, your neighbor, hey, that's a good book. And the journal, it's a journal that's separate from that I haven't started on yet, but I do plan on it. So that's a good read. Yeah. So pick that up. Becoming, Michelle Obama Becoming, Angela Davis. Also, even though I haven't read it yet, but I think a good accompany with this would be her autobiography and the autobiography of Assata Shakur. So I was dropping that in you all's lap this evening. I am gonna come to a close, but I will be back really soon with some more reviews, probably on some of the audiobooks I've just recently completed with. So you all have a great evening. Bye.